Alrighty, if you're concerned about US oil and dollar index and you're not sure exactly where it's going to go and how far it's going to rally and dip, well, we're going to go ahead and talk about that in this video. So stick around. We're going to look at the technical analysis and define exactly what we can expect on both US dollar and US oil. We'll speak right after this. Hi traders, and welcome back with another video here with the FX Big Dog. And yes, we're going to be talking about US oil and dollar index because those two are really moving the markets quite drastically. Because of the coronavirus issue, we have seen a lot of traders run into dollar, and this is giving this big soar in the dollar itself. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the technicals because the technicals will give you a little bit of a better perspective of what we can anticipate, and we can be closely watching it because I am certainly going to be watching dollar index and US oil. But also, I want you to stick around because we're also going to go ahead and take a look at the Tokyo stock market index, right? So we're going to take a look at the Tokyo market, see exactly what's going on with that and what we can expect. And also, we can also go ahead and take a look at the technicals and see that we could actually have determined or at least projected or predicted the actual turnaround that we've seen in over the last few weeks based on technical analysis. We're going to go into those details as well on this video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the technicals, and we're going to start off with the dollar index. And if you take a look at the chart, I think it's very interesting as we look at the chart right here, how price is actually gone ahead and tested this downward trend line. Now I'm going to go ahead and compress the chart a little bit more right here so you can see the bigger picture. Okay, check this out. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things here, and I want to make sure that we are very clear as to what we're looking at right here. Firstly, number one, we've gone ahead and drawn in we can call that, let's go ahead and call it, let me just go ahead and just get this tool back here again. Just give me this, and I want to get this writing tool here. And fantastic. All right, there we go. Now, what's important for this, what is important for us to go ahead and make sure that we understand is that if you take a look at the highs up here at the top, take a look how we've gone ahead and connected the lows down below right here. And you may be saying, well, Big Dog, we don't have the market taking out this low right here. So therefore, this trend line may not be as effective. Well, actually it is, because you'll notice we've got two little touches up here at the top. So although these two little touches right here created this downward trend line, notice our price did come back to retest that. Price was rejected. Now coming back to retest it once again, but also take a look and see what we've got within patterns. We have a pattern that's being formed right here, and that pattern is a head and shoulder pattern. King's crown. And so there it is. There's the left tip. There's the center. Here's now the right tip of the crown. And so we're expecting price to go ahead and move from this AB move, right, down further down south. And if you look at dollar index is set actually for a long-term dip. Now, not only do we have the small King's crown right here, but notice that we actually have a larger continuation pattern in the form of a King's crown. All right, and where is that? Take a look over here. Here we're going to see the left tip right here. Here we're going to see the center tip, and here we're going to see the right tip right here, matching up perfectly and expecting price to go ahead and push down. So in the long term, we're looking for dollar to fall. And in the short term, this rally that we're seeing right here in dollar, this is all part of the technical setup for us to go ahead and complete this move from the lows to the right tip of the crown for the dollar index to sell off. So what could we expect from dollar moving forward? Well, we're expecting dollar to start slowing down, right? Starting to rest over here, and then eventually started to work its way back down. Now, let's say that the price decides to go up to the backside of this trend line, all right? And that would be our support and our resistance. So this would be resistance right here, and that'll be resistance. So we're definitely going to see the dollar starting to lose this rally, the surge that it's currently in right now. And when it does, we're looking for it to turn around and head to the downside in a long-term dip. All right, and that's what we're expecting right here. So if you've got this fear about dollars never going to stop, well, it is, and everything that's happening right now is really based on the technical analysis. You know, everyone's got this fear and focus on the pandemic that's currently taking place at the moment, and I understand why. I completely understand why. But they're losing the focus of what's going on in the technicals. Everyone is completely drawn away from the actual technicals that told us months and months before. We didn't know what was going to happen, but we knew months and months that dollar index is going to rally. Now, sure, it has rallied a lot more than what we expected and a lot faster than what we expected because of the pandemic. But the thing is this: we're still seeing the technical setups developing and completing the patterns that we've seen in the market. And so, although this is a news and a panic based on the pandemic, we know that this is all lining up with the technicals. Now, this is not the only chart that is lining up with the technicals and can be predicted way before that actually happened, before we even knew about the news or at least the disease. Or, let's put it this way, the virus. My bad. Let me just call it what it is. The virus. So we're definitely seeing this, okay, or at least seeing these patterns setting up and creating these type of moves that we're seeing right now. And yes, maybe a little faster, maybe a little bit higher than we're anticipated, but it is inside the patterns. Now, check this out, okay? So this is the dollar index. So we're expecting dollar X to start finding resistance and then working its way back down south, right? And in the long term, we'll see, in the midterm, we'll see price come back up to retest this level of support right here, and then eventually break through that and then go further down south and start seeing a big fall in the dollar. I've said it before, and I've mentioned it many times in my trading rooms, that we will be expecting a big fall in the dollar over the next few years. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at what else we've got going here. And I wanted to go ahead and take a look at US oil. All right, so let's take a look at US oil. What can we expect from US oil? Listen here, just pay attention to the technicals. Now, we all know the correlation between dollar index and US oil. All right, when we start seeing dollar index rallying, we start seeing US oil dip. And this has happened for years and years and years, and eventually it's going to cross over, and we're going to see the turnaround. We're going to see a big fall in the dollar, and then we see a big rally in US oil. Now, what's happening right now, we are in a different direction, right? We're trading in a different direction. Oil is falling. We hit the low of $22 a barrel today, $22 and some change. And then, of course, the dollar index has hit new highs as well, right? But it's not new highs overall. We've just seen the market rallying over the last few days. And yes, it's created big chaos in the market, all right? A lot of people are really, really concerned about what's going on. But we know that there's things being taken, or things that are put into place at the moment right now. There's rate cuts to stimulate the economy. There's asset purchasing from the Feds. We're looking at, of course, certain things that put into place to stop the spread of the virus as well. Of course, with the things that they've done. Now, this is what we're going to look at right here. If we take a look at US oil right here, we're noticing that there's a pattern. And this pattern is in form of this wedge, right? And in fact, it's a falling wedge that would see us coming back up to retest the top of the wedge right here and eventually breaking out. Because what happens in a wedge, when the market wedges like this, we see a 5-wave touch, all right? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then break out, all right? That's what we're looking for. And so right here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're looking for price to go back up again, but break through and start heading north. So we're going to see US oil starting to take off and head to the upside. So we're hitting a very key level of support right here. All right. So we got to start realizing that the technicals are really just lining up to what the market's telling us that it should be doing based on historical data. And it's all based on these patterns. So we've got US oil sitting in a wedge at the support level. We're going to start seeing support right here. And remember, I want to make sure that this is clear. Okay? Very important that you understand this. All right? And I'm going to say this that everyone can understand. Support and resistance is not defined by price. It's defined by an area. So don't expect your price to sit at a certain level, and if it breaks that price, let's say it's $22 a barrel or $21 a barrel, and it breaks through that price and suddenly, no, we're bearish. No, it means that if it comes to that support, if support is around $21 a barrel, then we're going to see price maybe spike through a little bit, but it's going to settle down there at some point, and eventually price is going to move off that support. And that's what we're looking for right here. So we're at a key, very key level of support with US oil. All right, we've got to be patient enough and just say, all right, we're at these levels. There is a very good chance, a very high probability that this could be bottom. All right, I'm not saying today would be bottom or tomorrow would be bottom, but I'm saying it's going to be at this area. So we're at a very key, critical level right here that we can go ahead and pay attention to. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the stock market, the Tokyo stock market right here. What's going on with the Tokyo stock market? Listen here. This big fall, all right, that we've seen over the last few weeks is no surprise to technical traders. If you take a look over here, and I'm going to go ahead and give some insight on this, but if you take a look at the technical drawings right here, you'll notice that we've been in a downtrend. We've broken out, all right, of the downward channel right here, but also keep in mind that this has been, look at the range that we've had for a long period of time. In fact, it came from a broadening formation right here, extended itself, then went into a rectangle. We found support over here, resistance there. We found support over here, and now we're finding resistance here at the top. We've broken through this trend line, and notice that when we broke through that upward trend line right here, all right, what happened? Okay, we broke through, and we saw price coming back to retest it. And when it came back to retest it, what is price going to do? I teach this in my trading room, and I say, every time we're at support or at resistance, what do you anticipate price to do? Listen here, we're anticipating price to fall. So when we started, when the pandemic started happening out in China, when we started hearing about this virus, the coronavirus taking place in China, and if you had gone ahead and looked at the technicals and looked at the chart, you could have predicted that, hey, there's an anticipation of a possible downside move. Now, you may not be able to anticipate the actual speed of that move because it all depends, of course, how serious that the virus is and how serious it spreads and all that good stuff, which we know after the fact. But before it actually happened, you would say, well, if this is a virus and this is how the market's setting up, all right, the Tokyo market's setting up, then there could be a very high probability that we're not going to see this issue become a positive reaction to the market, but necessarily but a negative reaction to the market, right? And this is all based on technical analysis. You don't have to know anything about fundamentals. In fact, you don't have to know anything about fundamentals. But if you understand technical analysis and we look at the chart right here, you can see what's going to happen. Now, I guess the question here is, well, Big Dog, okay, I see that there's a big downside move in the Tokyo market, but what can we expect right now? Well, check this out. Again, it's all about technicals, right? Check this out. We've got price now coming up to a very key level of support right here. And there's going to be a bounce. All right, there's going to be a bounce back up. Even if it's temporary, we're going to get some sort of recovery in the stock market, all right, in the Tokyo stock market. But eventually it's going to go back down. It's going to break through here again. All right, it's going to break through. And when it breaks through, it's going to go down here. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to understand. All right, if we are at the support level right here and price holds and it goes back up again above resistance, then what we're going to be expecting is this is going to be a new trend. So a new trend could prevail right here, as the market starts heading north. All right. So this could just be a corrective move in what we see now as a current trend. Check this out. You know, market moves in waves. So this could be our first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, and now we're in A, B, C correction, taking out the wave low right here, and then looking for price to go ahead and continue north. And all this is going to be is just an adjusted trend that's going to look something like that. All right. So this is what we could anticipate, but what I do is, as a trader, I look at support and resistance, and I buy at support, sell at resistance, and if it breaks that level, then I look at a continuation of that trend, and that's pretty much how we're going to look at it. So we don't have to go into any sort of panic stages, because all we're going to do is just follow the trend break, follow the resistance level, follow the support levels, and then when price gets to those levels, then go ahead and make sure that you react. And so right now, if we were a trader, right, we'd be saying that at this point, I would be looking for the Tokyo stock market to start actually gaining some ground. Maybe it's not going to be today. Maybe it's not going to be tomorrow. But what we are going to see is a recovery in the stock market. And if it continues to recover, and it recovers really quickly and really fast and goes through resistance and stays above resistance, we'll look for the stock market to continue to stay in that trend. All right, and then all this is going to be is just a correction to the market. And so let's see, everything that's happening right now with regards to the war on oil price, the coronavirus that's taken place and really disrupted the world, okay, and the global economy. This is all part of the big plan. This is part of what we've seen in the market. We've seen this. We've seen very strong bull rallies in the stock market, in the US stock market. It was time for a correction. And so as much as this correction has happened so quickly and so fast, it is still part of the technical analysis. It's still part of the bigger plan. All right. So get ready for change. Get ready for recovery. All right. It's going to happen. It's going to come. Just be patient for it. It's going to come. And when it comes, the question here is, are you ready? Right? Because you've got to start getting ready for that move. This is FX Big Dog, and I'll see you in the next video.